The man glanced at the milk carton in his hand and instantly came up with an escape plan. He crushed it, then unfolded the entire box. Using a spoon, he carefully peeled off a layer of wax film inside, and when the guard wasn't paying attention, he stuck the wax film onto the prison lock. This way, when the code was entered, it would leave fingerprints on the keys. By comparing the fingerprint positions, he could figure out which 4 keys to press. The next step was to figure out how to access the lock. Despite the prison's multiple security layers, none of that was going to stop him. He twisted a piece of toilet paper into a small ball and covered it with toothpaste. He repeated this process multiple times, then wrapped the balls in a wet tissue to create a sticky, large paper clump. When the guard unlocked his handcuffs to let him eat, the man secretly slipped the paper ball into the small window's lock. Now, even if the guard locked it again, he could easily push the window open, allowing him to reach the lock and feel his way to the password. But escaping was still far from guaranteed. There were 2 more conditions he needed to meet. First, he had to learn the guard's routines to find a gap. Second, someone needed to be waiting on the outside for him. Despite the prison's seemingly tight security, there was a fatal flaw. The isolation cell was next to a completely unguarded fire truck garage. So, the man deliberately got into a fight, prompting the guards to lock him in the isolation cell. Inside, he carefully observed the setup. There were only 2 guards on duty, and they had a habit of leaving to smoke. This was his opportunity. Through the steel mesh, he could clearly hear the sounds of the guards opening and closing the door on the rooftop, allowing him to calculate that they spent about 7 minutes smoking. He then used the prison's cameras to send his escape time to a hacker friend. With everything in place, it was time to act. After unlocking the door, the man rewound the security footage to create the illusion that he was still in his cell, buying himself more time. Then, using the ventilation ducts, he successfully made his way to the fire station, where he changed into a firefighter's uniform. At this point, the 2 guards were still on the rooftop smoking, and his teammate was about to make her move. She deliberately caused an explosion in the prison parking lot to draw the fire department's attention, while the man hid underneath one of the trucks. As everyone rushed to the fire, no one paid attention to it. He simply walked right past the guards and successfully escaped from prison.